1, 2, 3.
Score!
Amen. Let's go.
Yes.
Listen, welcome back to the TRS Podcast. We're here. We're back for this week. I'm excited about it. We have a new person here that we're excited about. Dave had to step out this week for the episode today. So we were like, who do we want to be on the podcast with us?
Only
and of course,
the best person.
only the best ever. Miss Danielle, tell us a little about yourself, what your role is with TRS.
Yes, well, thank you guys for having me on the podcast. So, my name is Danielle. Hasn't changed in the last 3 seconds since you already introduced me. But I am a resident here at Thomas Road and work specifically with middle school. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what all do you get to do? Like being a resident with middle school, like what do you get to do?
Yeah, so I get to just lead our volunteers and just create relationships with all of them, but also just help run the program on Wednesday nights, Sunday mornings. I get to write some sermons, which is very challenging but super, super fun, and just meet our kids of the ministry, our students. They're not kids anymore, but our students, and learn their stories, but also just love on them, because I know in this position my eyes have been open to just different home life situations that weren't like mine, but realizing that God loves every single one of them and all of us, though our backgrounds are different. So yeah, I've really enjoyed my time. I'm sad that it's coming to an end pretty soon, but I've learned so much during this time.
Yeah, when I started serving TRS, like Danielle was a resident with Trevor, rest in peace Trevor. He's not dead. He's just he went on to bigger and better
left,
things.
So upgrade to my title.
But you were the resident for middle school, and you still are now, and it's so fun to work with you though, because it just provides like this. It's just such a fun work environment to have. And one of the things that we talked about in the office one time was like, if we had to do bivocational ministry, what do we think we could do? And I think both you and I both said we would be great bounty hunters.
Yes,
if we had to do bivocational ministry, which I 100% agree.
Yeah.
If I here's the thing, if I was like mysteriously like disappeared in the next couple of days, I totally would like trust Danielle to find me in the next like 2 hours.
Just give me a hair color and I'll find the person. Like truly, I don't know what it is, but someone would be like, give me like 2 pieces of information, and I'm like, is it this person? And they're like, what? I'm like, I don't know. I'd be a good bounty hunter. So.
Wow. Like if you ever had like an Amber Alert show up on your phone, and like the first thing you're thinking of, like if I went out there and I like went in my car, like I could probably find this person in the next 2 seconds.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh my
like
God.
I have a friend group that in 10 minutes or less we could probably find America's top 5 most wanted, like easily. So maybe that's a career one day.
I'm telling you, I would be
secret talents. It's all coming
I would
out.
be great. Instead of like Dog the Bounty Hunter, it'd be like Tim the Bounty Hunter. And it would be like, I would 100% enjoy that.
The best thing is when we said that, someone else was listening on the conversation and was very concerned.
In another room.
There was literally an air vent that caught our conversation, and it traveled to a different room, and they came in there like, hey, and we're like, oh my goodness. So
we found who the real bounty hunter is.
literally wiretapped vents. So.
Well, I'm really excited about like having you on today. I wanted to start off kind of just talking about like would you rather questions.
Yeah.
I found some really cool ones that also some students asked me as well, and I really found some cool ones that I wanted to talk about. The first one, like I want to talk about, would you rather be able to talk with animals or speak all foreign languages?
I would say speak all foreign languages. I don't know. I just feel like that could like take you further than animal. I don't really want to know about animals sometimes. Like, not in a bad way, but like, can you imagine like some bad scenarios when an animal talking to you and you'd be like, you know, like your lobster on your plate is talking to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know what they're going to say. So, but going to a different country, man, Duolingo can only take you so far.
That's fair.
And Google
That's so
Translate.
true.
So to be able to just go and just immediately start talking in a different language would be so cool, and to understand. So
Yeah, I think doing different languages too.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks that it would be cool to talk to animals, you know.
I just want to understand animals.
Like what they're thinking, like what's going
on.
on.
Like I will speak all foreign language if I need to. Like I think like my level of confidence would continue to grow if I was able to speak all levels of like foreign language. But I just want to know what animals think. I just want to know what's going on through their minds.
I will say
That's
I have
so
a bearded
true.
dragon, and they literally have no emotion, and so I would like to know what he would say. Like,
what's the name of the bearded dragon?
my bearded dragon's name's Spartacus.
Spartacus.
And it's spelled like my last name because my last name's Spar. So yeah, so there we go. We have
Very
actually pretty
cool.
cool animal names. So we have a chocolate lab named Willy Wonka.
Okay.
He's my bud.
goodness.
Also, I'd like to know what he says. Like, he gives me blank stares. He's like, hey, bud, are you okay? But, yeah, so I have those two, and then I had pets in the past that had really cool names. So
I'm telling
my
you, I think I would love to know what like especially dogs. Like I feel like they just have
Yeah.
like I want to know what they
Yes.
think. I saw this video the other day on TikTok. It was like this dog who was literally like in front of a mirror just posing, like multiple
Oh my
poses.
goodness.
And I was just and I was like
That's
that literally that's a
crazy.
human right there.
Yes.
yeah.
It's crazy, but
my dog.
so we kind of were.
My dog just like, when are we eating again? You've been gone for ages. It's like 2 hours. So.
2 hours. Yeah, I grew up with like a dog and like 2 cats, and like the cats, I feel like I would like to know what they think, but all they do is sleep. Like they're cats. Like all they do is just lay down. They're pretty boring, like boring people.
Yeah.
Love them to death, but they're
Dogs sleep too. My dog sleeps 18 hours a day.
seriously.
wow.
And then still sleeps at night.
My dog was just super stubborn. Like we would call him to come inside, and he'd just look at us and then look the other way.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Sassy.
Yes.
That's what I call that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. The sass.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's I love pets though, but we all kind of said the same thing. Is like we love to like, speak all foreign languages, but like we would like to understand what animals
Yes.
think.
Yes.
certain animals for sure.
So we're definitely on the fence with it.
Yes.
The next one, would you rather, and this is a lengthy one, would you rather only listen to one song for the rest of your life, but you get to choose the song? Or only listen to the music your parents like for the rest of your life?
Oh, choose a one song.
I get bored of songs though.
Right.
I'll listen to a song on repeat for like 2 weeks, and then if it comes up in my playlist again, I'm like, I cannot listen
agree.
to that. So I don't know. My parents' music's actually pretty good. I was gonna say, like, growing up with my dad's music playing in the garage Saturday morning, like that rock, 80s rock.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, it's a great music to work out
Oh,
to.
yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
That's true.
I feel like I could listen to their music of choice.
Yeah, I think
So,
my parents, I'll give my parents props. They have great music taste.
Yeah.
They truly do.
I will say my mom's like obsessed with Carrie Underwood though, and I don't like her.
You don't
So
like
that was the
Carrie
only.
Underwood?
No.
Listen, the other day I was in my car and like I have Spotify, like my Spotify makes these random mix like playlists for me.
Yeah.
And so like I like to go on there because it's like it makes it a playlist for me. Some songs I've never heard it before, and it's like
Yeah.
nice to hear. So I play it, and there's like multiple Carrie Underwood songs, and I've never listened to Carrie Underwood like in the
Nah.
past like 2 months. And
Yeah.
there's multiple like Jesus Take the Wheel, like songs like that.
That's a good song.
Great song, but it's like you know what I mean.
My mom literally went to her concert.
Really?
Like bought
Oh, really?
bedazzled cowgirl boots, like
Oh
every,
my
and she was just
goodness.
living her best life. Just her and my dad. I was like, good for you, but
That's awesome.
I'm not a Carrie Underwood fan.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah.
I don't count that as real country. So can't
Now-
listen to
Definitely
it.
not.
I did grow up in West Virginia, so like I do kind of feel like I have a good vibe for what I think is real country.
Yeah.
Like I have like George Strait, like things like
What's
that.
your thought on Cody Johnson then?
Cody Johnson? I like Cody Johnson.
My favorite country
He's great.
singer. I love him. So
He's great. He never misses.
No.
Never misses.
Never.
If you have if you're country listeners, definitely listen to Cody Johnson. I'll give him props right now. But if you're not, I know there's some people that aren't like a big country fan. I feel like Alexis is not a big country fan.
I don't think you are. I would say I feel like you're like
I like it
classical.
sometimes.
Classical. Beethoven Volume 5.
Wow, I do play in an orchestra, so
There you go.
country's okay. It's good.
It's just okay.
No, it's good. I tend to not listen to one artist. Like
That's fair.
Okay,
I know
okay.
some people will like turn on one artist and then they'll listen to that person or like their whole album together, but I just can't do that.
Yeah.
I need like it mixed.
Yeah, I mean, I think my parents have played great songs.
Yeah.
Like they listen to great stuff. Like even like my dad like listened to like 90s like rap
Yeah,
and
90s
hip-hop.
country.
90s country
is
was
different,
great.
and
It's different.
amazing.
Dolly, Reba.
Yep.
Reba McEntire.
Come on.
Oh my
I was listening to that on my drive home from Minnesota. I said 90s country. So it was good.
It's great. So we all kind of feel like, ooh, a little bit different on that. So I have a hot take for you, or I guess a cold take, depending on how you take it.
Okay.
But someone asked me the other day, and we had a large debate about this. But if you could have either one, would you rather eat hot pizza or cold pizza?
Ooh.
I would say cold pizza.
Okay.
I'm a cold pizza girly.
Yeah?
Like, You know that when you go the next day after you have it that night, whatever, and it's in that Ziploc bag, you go to school, pulled out your lunchbox, open that bag, everyone's like, pizza. Like, I want that. And you're like, I know, it's amazing. So, and I think it tastes better. I don't know why, but I just think it tastes good. And you have a great lunch. Usually you don't get pizza for lunch.
I agree. If you get like hot pizza, like that's, I like hot pizza, like fresh pizza, that's great. But if you like give me something like it was been in the refrigerator, it's leftover pizza, put it in a sandwich bag, like a lot, like and take it to work the next day. That's your lunch. That's the best part.
Oh.
That is the best part.
You
I
look
think cold
forward
pizza.
to the lunch more than you do that dinner the night before.
Danielle and I feel like we grew up at the same time. We grew up with the same, like the same environment. So.
You were Western Virginia, I was Virginia.
Like,
that's what it was.
Like you knew your parents were like, "Here's cold pizza for your lunch."
Yeah, I'm running late for the school bus. Grab the pizza.
I love it.
No, but I think it depends on what type of pizza it is. So like deep dish or like, the regular crust.
Does the brand matter to you or like the company?
I think it's more like whether it's deep dish or not.
Okay, so type of pizza.
Deep dish is so good cold. But if it's just like the
See,
regular
I would
crust,
not say that.
Really?
I actually like deep dish warm. Like my mom's from Chicago, and so like we have that like classic deep dish, and I just don't know if it'd be cold, like good cold.
See, I love deep dish pizza, but I can only really enjoy deep dish pizza if it's the corner pieces. Of
oh my
deep dish
gosh,
pizza.
that's so true.
Oh,
Not the
okay.
middle piece.
Not the middle pieces.
That's
the
interesting
corner
because
pieces.
our deep dish is round, so there ain't no corners. I'll
There
tell you
ain't no
that.
corners?
You're not cutting the corners.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So
gotcha.
Giordano's, come on. Oh, I don't know if I can say that. Giordano's, but it's the best pizza, and my mom gets it for Christmas every year. So good.
That's crazy.
I know you guys go to Liberty, but have you heard that there might be like underground tunnels all throughout Liberty's campus?
I heard.
Oh my
Isn't
goodness.
that crazy?
I
Like
heard
I
about
heard
that.
in two different ways. Like
Okay.
I heard from the medical building to like somewhere else, they can like, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense because it's on a hill, so it's like kind of
Right.
out of the way. But it makes sense since we have so many speakers at Liberty as well.
Right.
Right? Like when our president was here, like if something happened, it makes sense that we would have an underground tunnel. So
I think that there's one, and I literally think it's just like that walkway right in the middle. You know what I'm talking about? I think
that would make sense because it's so oddly placed.
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think so. And like I don't know, so if you ever noticed, like I don't know if you ever noticed this, but when I'm gonna spell some Liberty speakers right here probably, but when we have campus speakers, they park right next to right there where like there's the river or the little lake,
the
and then there's the little thing right there, the thing right there, and it's like underground. I'm convinced they all connect. So like there's a place right there to go to the Vine Center.
Oh,
there's
there
like
is.
So I'm convinced like everything's
it.
connected.
Yes.
Yeah, because we have so many speakers.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess the top one that we can think of is like when the president came. Like again, like I just said, like that would make sense to have an emergency exit.
Yeah, it's under
something happened.
Right.
It's under that little basketball
And it
gym.
looks like a
goes
Star
right in.
Wars thing.
Yeah.
Like what you're talking about, like literally looks like stormtroopers could come out of it.
It
Like,
really does.
like have you seen it? Like it looks like
Yes.
they'll walk out. And I'm like, wait a second. Like what?
I had an RA tell me one time that he accidentally got went down to the tunnels one time. He never told us how or why.
I had friends that, you know how there's a pond and then going into the pond there's like several different waterfalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under the
imagine?
waterfalls there's tunnels.
It's literally like
I have
The
friends that
Incredibles,
went
like-
in there one
Ew.
time. Yeah.
They went in the waterfall?
Yeah, under like past like behind the waterfall there's a tunnel.
That's crazy.
Well, maybe next
I have
podcast.
friends.
We're
going to explore the tunnel. We're like,
Wow.
look, guys, we have a flashlight.
Yes.
So
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it makes sense. So I believe it. If it's not true, then prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Yes.
Prove me wrong. That's crazy. Well, if you ever go to Liberty, definitely like think about the tunnels that you're walking on. So
stormtrooper.
because they're definitely
Yes.
there. The stormtrooper tunnel because they're definitely there. And you know what's more interesting? The tunnels under Disney. Have you heard about those?
Those are crazy.
I have not heard about those.
You've
That's for a
never
different
heard about
topic,
those?
but yeah, like that.
It's
like,
true though. My
yeah, it
brother
is.
worked at Disney, and there are tunnels because he would go under that. Like think about it, when you have the princesses and stuff.
yeah,
out,
that makes so
where
much
do they just go?
sense.
There's no
Right.
building or
Yeah.
anything. So
That's
It's
so
tunnels.
true.
and then I think the trash like empties itself through some of that because you never see trash like around
Yeah.
Disney,
Right.
right?
That's so true.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my
That's
goodness.
crazy. Well,
Crazy,
That's
crazy.
wild.
the more you know. You know what I mean?
This
Well,
world is full of secrets. So
So Danielle, so I know there's a lot of students who are either going into high school or they've been in high school for a few years now, but I know that some of them are struggling a little bit, but also growing. And so what was something that you wish you had been told before you came into high school?
Yeah, so high school and middle school were just crazy times in my life. Just a lot of things happen in most of my testimonies during that time. But something that I was just reflecting on recently was just seasons of life. And I heard in a podcast, Bloom Where You Were Planted, which sounds like something you'd see in your grandma's house, like on a cross stitch. Yes. And you're like, oh. But it was really like eye-opening because we so often live in our lives where it's like you're in middle school and you're like, I wish I was in high school, or you're in high school, or you make it to high school. I wish I was in college, and you never enjoy the season that you are currently in and you at once wished for, right? And so taking that time, like if you're in middle school or high school right now, and really understanding it, like there is a reason for you right now to be where you are. And for me, it was growth and opportunity. And the Lord used hard times in my testimony to grow me as a person, to where now I can come back to TRS and serve the students here and relate to them and help them as they're going through some of the most similar like things that I went through. But yeah, so enjoying the season you're in, because all throughout life, we're going to always want to be in a different one, but take your time here and use what God has given you to bloom, or to, you know, be in the, I don't know how to word this, but like in the opportunities and everything you're in right now, what can you pull from it?
Right.
And how can you utilize it to the best way possible?
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like that. I think that we all get to serve in ministry, in student ministry here, so we all get to see like how, like this generation, like this time that they're in, this is the most important time for them when it comes to like their faith, and like, you know, really digging into what that means to them. And like I've seen it so much through our high school students, and especially the guys, like, you know, I get to be with them and really see like them dig deep into what that relationship with God looks like. Something that I didn't do as much when I was their age.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wish someone would have looked at me and was like, hey, like this is the most important, like, so like sports doesn't matter as much as you think.
Yep.
Like this is like your relationship with Christ. Like this is a really important moment for you right now. This is a really important like point in your life.
Yeah.
Dig into what that looks like. So that's something I wish, like, I wish I would, like, and I want to feed into people as well. It's like something that the Lord told me, and kind of had to really like put me into a valley in order to like shine a light on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. I definitely, when I was in high school, I let fear control me so much. And those thoughts of like, what would everybody think? Like if I didn't do it, what the stereotype was and stuff like that. And I think that if I had been, like you said, following the Lord more and like diving deeper into the Word, then I would have been able to see that.
Starting those habits early for sure, because I didn't have that during those times, and that is why I have a testimony the way I do. And it wasn't until freshman year, being surrounded by the right people and even at Liberty, and realizing that I needed to turn my life around and face Christ more than what I was doing before, which is living for the world.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
And I also know that a lot of the high schoolers are starting to get to the age where they have to choose what they're going to be studying in college and what school they are going to, and they're probably doing tours and stuff like that now. So what would you say to those students as they're making those decisions?
Yeah, God's plan is greater. I remember, so I'm from here, and I would, like, my dad works at Liberty and everything, and I was like, I'm not going to Liberty. Like, I'm not doing it. Everyone else does it. All my siblings went to Liberty, and so I had, like, this great plan to leave, and then it didn't work out, and I ended up at Liberty, and it was okay. Like, honestly, I had such a great experience having my senior year now, but even in that, like, I went for a certain major, and I changed that major probably twice, and it was just through that learning of, hey, you know what, actually, you know, what are my goals in life? And it was different things than what this career would allow. And so lay down your plan. I know I'm the type of person that I'm like, God, I trust you. And I got that blueprint under my arm. Like, I trust you. And he's like, give me the blueprint, you know, the backup plan. And so just really laying it down and saying, Lord, you know what? Your plan is greater than mine. And every single detail and things that you provide in my life is far greater than what I could ever have planned for. And so there's going to be a lot of unexpected, but just go with it and know that God is there the whole time, and invite him to every single aspect of decision making and your life choices, because he'll lead you where he wants you.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
that's good.
I think that's definitely like a stress that a lot of high schoolers put on themselves, that they have to have the major and they have to have it all figured out. But that's the beauty of it. We don't have to. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to repeat that. You don't have to have it all figured out. You know
Good thing we have a God that does.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you don't have to figure it out. I remember like even in high school, like they like even the teachers would kind of stress to you that like you need like to have it figured out. And like I think that the Lord's going to make it evident 100% wherever we want to go. I had 3 other colleges I looked at in state before I decided I wanted to come to Liberty. And I kind of felt like in my heart I wanted to go to Liberty, but I didn't feel like it was financially feasible for myself and for my family. So we were looking for other options. And so I finally convinced my parents that like, let's just go visit it. And when we went to visit it, and my dad and I both looked at each other and were like, yeah, like there's no walking away from this. Like this is evident of the Lord right here. And that's gonna like, it's going to be evident. You know, I say that word all the time, but it is like, if you lean into God's plan for you, like it's he's going to like make it known for you. I came here not knowing anybody. I didn't come here with any friends. You know what I mean? Like it was absolutely the most uncomfortable season for me to be in. But when I walked out with like more comfortable than I was because I found so many good friendships, and I just felt like I was where the Lord wanted me. And that's the beauty of it all. You know what I mean? Like just trusting the Lord with it. You don't have to have it all figured out. You know, you don't have to hold you know, have a major figured out yet. If the Lord has put like, you know, like it's going to come. Just continue to be in the presence of the Lord. Continue to be there. It's going to be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then also another aspect that we were thinking of is what is your advice for like friendships and even just relationships in general? That area.
Well, I had interesting friend groups in high school and honestly, I talked to one person from that entire friend group now. And they're like my one person. They don't really know the Lord yet. And so I'm still like kind of not pushing them, but like encouraging them with however they're walking. But like you said, don't get trapped in this comparison or this fear, because that's all I ever did. I was never the good enough friend, or I didn't look like the rest of them, and I just really tore myself down over that. And comparison is the thief of joy. It wasn't until, like I said, college, where I had more maturity, I had my identity in Christ fully, that I was able to stop with the comparison. And sometimes it still tries to creep in. I mean, we live in a broken world, but really canceling that out and saying, no, like I like with Christ, that is my identity, and I am perfect. I'm beautifully and wonderfully made, you know? But yeah, that's how, if for friendships. But if we're talking about relationships, I mean, come on, I'm engaged. No, I'm
Amen. Let's go.
But in high school, I never dated anyone before Wade, and that's not everyone's story, obviously. But my mom at a very young age really told us to set standards, and I was like, well, maybe I'm picky, because no one in high school even was close to those standards. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna find the person ever because I'm picky, or these things. And then it wasn't like the most unexpected way the Lord brought Wade into my life, and we honestly like have a weird awkward encounter. Like we peace signed each other and fist bumped at first, and then for the first like 3 months of relationship we just high-fived. It's so weird. And so like we were just awkward because we both had never dated someone before. But really, I think the biggest thing you can put in, whether you're in high school, obviously, I'm in a different stage, but continuing to put the Lord in that relationship. Whenever Wade and I would have conflict, we realized that we didn't invite the Lord into the relationship. And so something we do now before we, you know, even get together to hang out or anything, we pray. And we say, like, Lord, you brought us together, and so we want you to be in this moment with us. And then when we leave, we also pray as well, thanking him for the time that we got, because we both run crazy schedules. And so that has helped us a lot. And even like as we're preparing for marriage, like constantly, like obviously every morning I want to like pray with him and that kind of stuff, but it's something that we can't just be like, all right, we made it to marriage, like we're done, like we're not praying anymore. Like when Christ is not in the center of your relationship, conflict will come. And that's something we're learning in premarital. Like a lot of relationships that have problems, they've dropped their relationship with Christ. And so that is just one thing I would encourage. I know, again, they're young, like all this stuff, but it's good practice now.
Absolutely.
So
for sure.
Yeah. What's that verse?
I love that.
In, like doing whatever you do it all for the glory of God.
Yes.
Like that's completely true, especially in relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I always tell they're like the guys that like they my guys who, you know, they want to be in a relationship so bad, and they feel like this is the perfect time for them to be like that. And I've always said I'll say this for anybody, like, you know, I'm not in a relationship right now, you know, but I'll say this to anything else. It's like, don't lower your standards just because the Lord hasn't put that person in front of you yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And keep a hold of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's something girls do a lot, especially, or struggle with, because they have these ideas that like they need, like they have their standards and everything, but then they're like, oh well, that person's not coming, so I guess I must just have too high of standards. And that's something that the world is telling them too. That's feeding into them.
That's good. That's good. Well, that is it for us, this episode of the TRS Podcast, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Danielle, for coming on. And we would love to have you on in the future episodes.
Yes, for sure.
100%.
Yes.
100%. But yeah, don't forget, our episodes come out every Thursday at 7. Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Danielle.
Like and comment.
Like and comment.
I'm living out my YouTuber dream.
Are you?
My 8-year-old dream.
Your 8-year-old dream. Thank you guys for listening, though. This has been the TRS Podcast.
Yes.
We'll see you later.